And thank you, Smash team, for joining the Smash stream. Got a bunch of stuff to cover here, so let's get going. Looking at the sun and colored magnetogram. The main thing I'm looking at is this plage down here, not to be confused with a sunspot. It is a cycle 24 plage. Also, 6.4 magnitude earthquake hits California. The largest one since the 90s. And let's look at some more views of the sun here. Here's 304 angstroms. And we see some filaments there on the northwest. Otherwise, just low solar activity, although there is a coronal hole wind stream hitting the magnetosphere right now. So we're going to look at that ramping up throughout the day. I believe there's a KP of 3 or 4 forecasted. Here's the location of your planets and so on. Here's where they'll be in 1 week. By the way, the Saturn opposition occurs on the 9th. Going to look at stereo A's coronagraph. As we've been watching a plasma filament that's kind of facing toward the Earth, although it's being held in place by that active region. And there's the view from stereo A. For you new viewers out there, although there probably aren't any since we've lost a subscriber since yesterday, for you new viewers out there, it would be, the Earth would be located out in this direction. And so we see some pulsations of that plasma, but no real changes there, no ejection and no collapse of that plasma. Here's where the objects are above my head right now. Make your own start at in-the-sky.org. I like to draw in the ecliptic. And Venus should be rising in about an hour. So if you've got a low horizon, get a load of that. Should be spectacular. Look at the real-time solar wind here. We see some wild fluctuations in the BTBZ throughout the last 24 hours, as well as in the phi angle. We saw an ongoing coronal hole connection here as forecasted and as covered yesterday. So we saw a little uptick in the solar wind density here overnight. And now we're back down to a 2.45 protons per cubic centimeter there. And it looks like the solar wind speed has just leveled off at around 400, so 405 kilometers per second. And here's the ACE data. That's 24 hours of data from the ACE, showing the similar BTBZ fluctuations, phi angles, density, and speed. Those are two different spacecraft, by the way, folks. The ACE and the Discover. Discover is a little bit more susceptible to cosmic radiation. Here's the magnetosphere movie for the last 4 hours, looking at the density. And things have returned to a more normal state here with a little more normal amount of protons coming out of the solar wind. Keep in mind, these are models courtesy of University of Michigan. Here's the pressure map. Again, this is a model. If you want to look up how it works, just look at the links in the description below the video, which will direct you to this page. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, look up the SWMF, the Space Weather Modeling Framework. There's the pressure, pretty nominal for what you'd expect to be seeing. Let's look at the ground perturbations here, a little closer to home. That is planet Earth. Looking at delta B, which is changes in the Earth's B field. the magnetic field that goes through the magnet. As current enters and exits at the poles, we monitor this as it's kind of important. Anyway, we do see some perturbations there, especially up north as the South Pole continues to creep toward India. Thank you, patrons. We're going to be getting some new hardware this month, new mouse and a new microphone is the plan. So look forward to that. And for you folks who haven't joined Patreon yet, we only have one tier and it's $1. So that could change sometime, but as of now, not that much exclusive content there, but we are putting up stuff most days. Some publicly viewable, some not. If you like CBDs, check out Hemp Lucid. Links in the description here to our Spaced Out campaign, specifically for our Spaced Out viewers. Sale is still going on for 1,000 milligram whole plant CBD hemp oil suspension. There's also a bunch of different products there, so check that out and help support the channel if you can do it that way. Also, check out the bike racing team, theveloshop.net. If you want to be on the jerseys, email me at smashomash@gmail.com. And if you're just interested in bikes, how about a new gravel bike? I recommend the BMC Road Machine 02 Ultegra. It's pretty freaking sweet, folks. And I'm not sure if it's available. Anyway, kind of the Swiss Army knife of road bikes here. This thing will take all kinds of different tire sizes. It will kick ass and it will take names, even if you're riding over gravel, cobbles, or just down a perfectly smooth road. Thanks again, donors. We're only looking to raise another $3,333 per month to go full time on this channel. Also, check out the music links in the description if you enjoy the original music. There are two of them. One is soundclick.com and one is soundcloud.com. Again, links in the description. Again, solar activity super low. No sunspots. 10.7 centimeter radio flux down to 67. Still above predicted values, but welcome to the solar minimum as it drags on. Some fantastic solar eclipse photographs posted up here on spaceweather.com. Check out the Earth with the eclipse going on from the moon, thanks to China's spacecraft, the Heilongjiang. Oh, it's the Chang'e 4, right? The Chang'e 4's relay satellite, Quake. Not so good with the Chinese folks. Now, the eclipse occurred right near sunset. And so they got some amazing shots at this observatory. Atacama? Don't quote me on that. Anyway, check out the amazing photos on spaceweather.com. It does always take a few days for this stuff to come out, folks. And here we've got a shot from a plane. Nice. Here's the full-size view. Check it out. As the sun is being chased down by Nibiru. Just kidding, folks. All that brown dwarf crap is BS. And I don't know why I got stuck on the page, but now we're unstuck. Check out spaceweathernews.com to see stuff like the X-ray flux, which is utterly flatlined. No increase there is forecasted, so I failed when it comes to the X-ray flux. That plage is so weak, it's not doing anything. So anyway, no X-rays. Just a background level of 6.5 or something like that. Not even a B range flare. Magnetometer is looking pretty choppy. We'll look at the Gong 2 in a minute. KP index down to 1. We're expecting to see this rise to at least 3 throughout the day today as that solar wind stream, again, 400 kilometers per second right now. A big uptick compared to where it was. As density yesterday was barely at 1 proton per cubic centimeter. Electron flux pretty low here, as you'd expect. as a coronal hole wind stream hits. No charging hazards to speak of. F2 layer is looking discharged on both sides. Oh, F2 layer is looking excessively discharged on the nighttime side. That makes for a cold evening in Antarctica. That is a very, very discharged nighttime ionosphere. Radio transmissions are not what you'd expect, not what you'd like if you're in those areas. Anyway, there's the aurora forecast. Nothing to write home about there. Let's keep moving on here as there's a lot of stuff to cover yet. Here's the GONE 2 data. The choppiness that we're seeing in the magnetometer is because of this plasma in this region right here. And we could hop the current sheet polarity barrier anytime and be back in the South Pole portion with no warning. Follow us on other social media if it makes it easier for you to share our content, as we are kind of band-ish. We're a little on the band side. Someday, a nova might get us, but big tech never will. Also on Facebook, some of the worst software on the internet. If you'd like to access their servers, check out facebook.com/smAsho. And Mark will try to get photos of you through your webcam or something. Hi, Mark. Check me out on Instagram also. It's not as space weathery. You might get some great images of the fish, such as this brilliant video from yesterday. Check it out. It's Phelps and Jaws and Jim. And that's Jaws. She's great and white. She's a redhead too, as you can see. There's Phelps, named after Olympian Michael Phelps, greatest Olympian of all time, a fast swimmer and a big eater. There's Jim, named after James T. Kirk, the pleco who's gone where no pleco's gone before. Anyway, Instagram.com/smAsho. Also on Gab, we actually post stuff there, like this. Thanks, viewers. All right, get on to more stuff here, as there's still quite a lot of things to cover, such as Minds.com, the open source social media that won't censor you. How do you like that? Minds.com/smAsho. And also subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. We're going to skip cosmic rays because there's nothing too exciting going on there. Go back to this California quake, a 6.4, the largest quake since 1996, I believe. Anyway, there are the locations. Check it out on thewatchers.news if you like. Apparently 64 aftershocks coming in. Gotta make sure this is refreshed. Earthquake rundown as quickly as possible. Here's a 4.5 in Argentina at depth. Heads up in the Andes for a larger quake at the surface. A 4.5 in Russia. Heads up in Russia for a larger quake at the surface. Just north of Taiwan there. 4.3 in Alaska. Quite far south. That's more like off the coast of Canada. Here's a 4.0 aftershock from that 6.4. Actually, it's a 4 shock. There you go. And we've got more quakes, more quakes, more quakes, all in the same area, about 64 of them. Show you the location of that. Out in the Mojave Desert. Right near the Naval Air Warfare Center. In fact, that's actually on some sort of China Lake area. Yeah. Okay. Let's just move on. As more quakes coming in as we live stream. And there are so many quakes here that it's going to be like a huge hassle going through this. Like totally a huge hassle. Man, oh man. I'd say that's an earthquake uptick. What do you think, folks? Let's just say this probably didn't generate any tsunamis. Here's the interactive map for the 6.4. We're going to have to just move on and not go through all the quakes here because there's just too many of them. So the quake was felt in LA. It did cause some power outages, I believe. And yeah, there's the location of that. Shaking up a big portion of the state. I believe it was even felt in Las Vegas. Correct me if I'm wrong. I meant to bring out the live chat today, but I completely forgot. So you're going to have to deal with voice only. Your chat will not appear on the screen, but don't let that discourage you. People like Harry and Eden will do, and smAsho staff, thanks for taking the time to leave a comment. All right, we got to look at other stuff here. Here's a 5.1 at Tonga. Here's a 5.0 at Tonga. Here's a 5.0 at New Guinea. And quakes continue to hit California. So anyway, that 6.4 was the largest quake of the last 24 hours. If you felt that quake, please leave a comment. If your mother-in-law's photograph fell off the wall and smashed on the floor and you celebrated, please leave a comment. Here's a pressure map courtesy of windy.com. And let's do a quick global warming rundown, see how hot the planet is. I heard it's really, really hot. So hot that 60 inches of ice fall in Mexico. Let's see here. How about some snow depth? There's still snow in the U.S. I heard Greenland's melting. Let's go check on that. Oh, Greenland update. Let's put down a marker. 5 meters of snow there. More than 5 meters of snow, that is. More than 5 meters of snow there. More than 5 meters of snow there. Oh my gosh, there's no snow here. Oh no. Oh my goodness. They're probably celebrating because their ports are open in some of these areas. And they're able to do things like plant some limited crops. Otherwise, the rest of Greenland has, just to reiterate, more than 5 meters of snow from coast to coast. Volcano rundown. After I refresh and get the latest stuff. It's actually hot and humid in Lehigh Valley right now. Hot and humid, staying hot in the nighttime because the humidity, well, water vapor is a greenhouse gas, folks. Water vapor is a greenhouse gas. So when it's humid, it stays hot at night. That's how it works. That's why it gets cold in the desert at nighttime, because of a lack of water vapor. Shivaluch exploding, producing a 14,000-foot plume. Popocatépetl, volcanic emission moving west-northwest. Santiago, new to the list. Volcanic Ash Advisory Center, Washington, issued the following report. Emissions moving west from Santiaguito. Santiaguito. I like that name. Fuego in Guatemala. Some emissions moving out of that. Revenador. Sporadic emissions, Sabancaya, 27,000-foot ash plume there. Please do not pole vault over Sabancaya's caldera. Nevados de Chilean. No emissions and ash remaining. Here's the U.S. Doppler radar. Here's lightning maps. Check out lightningmaps.org if you hear thunder. It could save your assets. Heads up Grand Island. There's thunder rolling in. Haskings. Hastings. Hastings, there's thunder rolling in right now. Show you the water vapor over the whole US and then get out of here as quickly as possible. As if I have places to go. Anyway, there's the water vapor situation. I'll give you a zoom in real quick on this. South Dakota, Nebraska area. So if you're getting pummeled right now by these storms, you'll at least have some clue when they're going to stop. I would note especially this cloud, right, this system right here, the heart-shaped energy flow going on here, the obvious Hall streamers emanating out of the center of this. Convective forces are running things so much that these lows are not even rotating correctly. Let me explain what I mean. Jet stream is not a jet stream in the northern hemisphere. It's got hints of a jet stream. The southern hemisphere is dominated by meridional flow and double and triple jet streams. So this is the past couple of days here. This is the forecast for the next couple of days. Very interesting, very interesting. This is the that is your ass, and that is a hole in the ground. Vulgarity-free section of the video. You're big tech. You cannot break the internet, but the internet can break you. Let's talk about radio astronomy. Now, taking a photograph of the sun is radio astronomy, depending on how loosely you want to use the term, because the electromagnetic spectrum is the entire range of wavelengths or frequencies of electromagnetic radiation extending from gamma rays to the longest radio waves and including visible light. So all the way down to ultra low frequency, very low frequency radio waves, and all the way up to gamma rays. That's the electromagnetic spectrum. It includes visible light, which means if you take a photograph of the sun, you've become a radio astronomer. So congratulations on that. If you want to study radio astronomy, all the transients that the BAT telescope, that's the Burst Alert Telescope, is monitoring constantly. Check out the Neil Gorell Swift Observatory. It's fun. Anyway, thanks again for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate it. And especially thanks for donating. Look at the 193 angstroms view, and then we're going to teleport out of here as if we're Gandalf. So we see another very large coronal hole rotating in. It even looks like there's a coronal hole obscured by that plage back there in the plasma just south of the equator. So coronal hole dominated sun. Also the North Pole coronal hole looks like it's grown again. So anyway, that's 48 hours of the sun, folks. And it is time to definitely get out of here. So thanks again for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate it. Thanks for leaving a comment. Please visit the links in the description and support the channel if you see fit. And share on your social media if we don't cause you to also get banned, which we may. I don't know what we're doing that's so controversial, but apparently something must be. So enjoy your day. And remember, when you're staring at the sun, don't drink. And if you drink, stare at the sun anyway. Use the proper instruments and don't drive. And since it'll never be now again, may the solar wind be at your back and the atherosclerosis absent from your veins.